there, Team Shaffer. Welcome to Time Management. Fact or fiction? Makes me think of the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot. Is it real? Is it achievable? And can you really do it? You know, there was a young woman who got married and she was so excited to cook for her new husband. So she was going to make the famous roast that every woman in her family had made. So she bought the roast, she came home, she cut the ends off, she seasoned it, put it in the oven. And when he came home, she served it and it was delicious. And the husband looked at his new wife and with all innocence said, "Honey, why did you cut the ends off?" And she said, I don't know. So she went to her mom the next day and said, "Mom, why did you cut the ends of the roast off whenever you made it?" And her mom said, "I don't know, it's what your grandmother always did." So the young bride went to her grandmother and she said, "Grandma, why do you cut the ends of the roast off?" And the grandma looked at her while she had an apron on and she was in the kitchen busy cooking. She said, "My pan was too small." There are so many things that we do automatically. They can be good or bad when it comes to our time management. And let me share with you up front that your personal time management system that you have right now is perfectly designed to get you exactly what you're getting. For those of you I haven't met yet, my name is Tiffany Timmons, and for those of you I know, hello again. Remember, you will see to the side of this video your handout, so make sure you print that handout out. Print the handout so that you've got that to take your notes on. And then you'll have a knowledge-proving quiz to do at the end. But more than that, take notes and really start to examine what you're doing if you think it's valuable for you to be able to get more out of your time. Who would like to accomplish more in less time? How would that be great? Because you know what? We all have the same amount of time. Doesn't matter your age, what ethnicity you are, where you live in this world, what your job is, we all have the same amount of time. We all have 86,400 seconds every day, no matter what. Well, as long as you're here. Every day you have the same amount of time, and at the end of the day, it's gone. So are you investing it, or are you simply spending it? I'm going to share a lot of stories with you, and sometimes I talk about my mom. So when I talk about my mom, I talk about Sue Timmons, with the emphasis on the S. I had coaches growing up, and they would always say, "Well, what does Sue Timmons say?" But if I'm talking to my mom, it's definitely mom, with all respect. But Sue Timmons would say to me, "Tiffany, invest your time, don't waste it." We're going to talk about what you can do when it comes to investing. Okay, so a couple reminders about how this works. Make sure you've got your handouts printed. You will see them to the side of this video. Take great notes. If we only listen, how much do we retain? Less than 10%. And if we write it down and go back, we actually are going to multiply our retention by about 5 times. So take good notes. And then after you're done, you will take the quiz. More important though than proving that you've picked up some knowledge through the quiz is what you're actually going to do with that knowledge. Knowing is great, but knowing does not equal doing. So we will want to make sure that we're actually taking this new knowledge and actually applying it. Okay, so there's that time, 86,400 seconds every day. And today is the day that you can start to make a change. Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. And there's our Sue Timmonsism. Invest your time, don't waste it. Let's start off with a little fact or fiction. Multitasking is a good thing. Fact or fiction? Actually, fiction. I'm going to share more with you on that. Saying yes is always a good thing. Fact or fiction? Fiction. You have to determine your best yes. If you say yes to everything, you're going to get run into the ground. You need to determine your best yes. More on that to come. My day controls me. Fact or fiction? Many of you probably want to say fact. However, there is opportunity there for your response. You do have more control than you think. You always have control on what goes on between your ears. My habits are good or bad. That is fact. Just like our woman with her roast. She had a habit there. Didn't know why she did it. Imagine all that good meat they were missing out on because they cut the ends off. Discipline is part of managing my time. Fact or fiction? Ooh, this one hurts because it's right between the eyes. Fact. If you want to get more out of your time, you will need discipline to do it. And that means sometimes saying no to something that you want to go do. That might be more fun, but it's having the discipline to stay on track. So can I really manage my time? Well, you can't manage your time like you might manage organization or the way you might manage projects. Or is it like projects? Managing time is about making decisions and priorities. So, can you manage it? Let's see. We've already said it, but this is so good we could say it again. And you can say it out loud with me. I think that would be awesome. If you're in the office and somebody else hears you, good. They can hear this too. When it comes to time, your personal system, what you are using right now, is perfectly designed to give you the results you're getting. Perfectly designed to give you the results you are getting. You can't change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction. I love it. Can't change where you are, but you can make incremental changes instantly. Instantly, you can make a change to change your direction. So if you want to make a change, do it right now. Are you ever exhausted at the end of the day and you feel like you got nothing done? And have you been exhausted at the end of the day and you feel like you accomplished a lot? Two different types of days, and we're going to talk about how to evaluate that. All right, let's talk about the time target and put some framework around your time right now. Constantly be inspecting where your tasks and your time is, and let's see what it fits in. So the outer part of our target, of course, we want to be in the center, right? So we're going to start on the outside, is not urgent and not important. These are called distractions. These are the things that just take up your time and aren't really moving you towards any type of goal or accomplishing anything. Facebook, unnecessary TV, conversations that go a little bit longer than they should about the game Saturday night. When you've already talked about it for 20 minutes, maybe that extra 10 minutes isn't really needed when you have a long to-do list. The next one is not important, but seems urgent. These are delusions. Here's the test to find out if you're spending time here. If at the end of the day, you feel exhausted and you do not feel like you got anything done, that means you spent your time in delusion. A lot of things can pop up and we feel really good to take care of it immediately, and yet it's not moving us closer to a goal. Here we've got important and urgent. This is production. Love it. When you are here at the end of the day, you feel good about what you did and you know you're moving the ball closer to the end zone. You're moving it closer to the end zone because you're getting things done. And the final one is the zone. This is important, but not urgent. What you're doing here right now is important, but it's not urgent. It's good for you because it's going to help you improve on where you're spending your time. Going to the dentist. It's important, but it's not urgent. However, it does become urgent if you've got a cavity or a tooth that hurts and you got to get in to see the doctor. Working out. It's important, but it's not urgent. However, it's going to become urgent if you go to the doctor and find out you have high blood pressure and now you got to lose some weight in order to not go on that medication. So the time target, we'll go back and we'll refer to this, but I even encourage you to print this and put it up in front of you at work so you can just start to really consciously think about where your time is being spent. The more you can spend in production and the zone, the better you're going to feel. the more joy you're going to have at work, and the more you're going to get accomplished. So where do you spend your time? If ever I see somebody you talk to someone you haven't talked to in a while, or even you do talk to them frequently, is, how you doing? Everyone says busy, busy, busy. We all love this word. Are you busy or are you productive? Busy to me doesn't mean like anything's getting done. We can all be busy. Are you productive? If these two guys are in the ring fighting every day, who's winning? Time management is about choices. So how can we make different choices about our time? You got to SOT. I didn't say coat or moat. I said SOT. What you need to do is step back. Literally, sometimes it is get back out of your chair, go to a different place to think. Observe. You need to remove your emotions from what you're doing, because automatically we're going to think, I'm doing things right and there's nothing else I can do and everybody's demanding my time. That's an emotional stage. So we need to be able to step back and observe and remove those emotions and think clearly. Maybe even ask for another person's opinion. This is hard. Or maybe their observation. It can be challenging to do because we need to be open to their recommendations. Figure out what you want to do and then take action. And that's what we're going to talk about now. What things can you do to take action? 86,400 seconds in your day. Let's do some math and see what we can do to make the most of that time. First, we want to subtract the stuff that steals your time. All that stuff in distraction and delusion, they're stealing your time. So down on your paper, go ahead and write down subtract your time. What are the stuff that steals it? TV, you heard me say it. Americans are watching too much TV and it is taking your time away. I was completely sucked in the other night. Finally got the kids to bed and I turned on a new show. An hour later, I was finally done watching this show. I don't think my life improved much from watching it. In fact, I probably felt worse about the world than I did before. TV can suck you in and take so much of your good energy and your good time. Remove as much as possible. No more than 10 minutes on Facebook. Facebook is good and there's a lot of value to it. Now, some of you may say, but I do stuff for work on it. That's fine. Again, make sure that what you're doing on it is in production and the zone. Okay, that's your test, is what you're doing on Facebook for work falling under production and in the zone. Take negative people out of your life. Nothing can drain you more than those energy vampires. Worry and anxiety. We can spend a lot of time in worry and anxiety. Now, if we're going to take this time away, we need to make sure that we quickly fill it with something that's going to help you. It's like a vacuum. As soon as it's empty, it's going to get filled with something. So we need to make sure your time is filled. Oh, and excessive news. Yeah, you heard about me. So we want to make sure that we take your worry and anxiety and that time that you're going to create and fill that vacuum with things that are going to make a difference between your ears. We want to add the P's. It's amazing that all these come out to be P's. Planning. A little bit of planning can go a long way in your time. Positive people, programs. What we're doing here right now is considered a program. It's going to help your mindset, what you're thinking about. Purpose. When we know what our purpose is supposed to be, it's easier to make decisions about what you're doing. Pauses. Actually, just hit the pause button. Let your mind and quietness be around you so that you can think. We're so afraid of silence these days and we have so many distractions. It's amazing what you can think of in the quiet. What else do you want to see to add into your P's? 5 simple ways to increase productivity. What we're going to do for you, Shaffer, here today is focus on 2 of those. If you say, hey, Tiffany, I want some more, raise your hand, shoot me an email, and I'll be happy to provide some extra coaching on that. We want to take the busy out of your world. Would that be important to you? Would it be nice to feel a little bit more peace and joy about your day-to-day? The number one area where you can start to take away distractions and add the positives is with time blocking. Let me ask you this. If you had an appointment with Andy or Bob and you knew it was at 4:00 p.m., would you be there? Oh yeah, you would be there. And you may even tell your significant other or anybody else on your team, hey, I've got a meeting with Andy and Bob. I can't be reached at 4:00. You probably wouldn't look at your cell phone when you're in there with them. You would give your full attention to that meeting. And most people would. That's a really good thing. Do you honor a commitment to yourself the way you do to others? You probably are shaking your head saying no, because that's what I find most people do. I'm guilty of it too. We're so good about fulfilling a commitment when we say we're going to have a meeting with somebody. But if we're going to have a meeting with ourselves to invest in ourselves, do we follow through with it? And if we haven't before, that's okay. But let's change our direction and let's try time blocking. So what time blocking would be is you literally make an appointment with yourself and you set your phone or another timer, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes. I don't care if it's 2 minutes. Get started. No, nothing can get in the way of that. Not an email, not a phone call. 5 minutes to dedicate to yourself, to either do some planning, simply to pause, and maybe to read. We're actually going to be taking a look at a fantastic book called The No Complaint Rule here in a couple weeks, and being able to block out that time with yourself. The number one way for you to get more out of what's going on in your head is through time blocking. Daily list of 6 will be something that I can help you with as well if you would like some more tools, as well as personal time study. All right, this is the other one we're going to use, is an accountability partner. As you probably already know, you have been teamed up with 2 other people for accountability teams. When we share with somebody what we're going to do, we've created a commitment there to somebody else. And the power of commitment is the power behind achievement. So when we share with somebody what it is we want to do and how we're going to do it, it's more likely that we're going to find a way to do it without using excuses.
Here's a test about multiplying your expectations, and then if we end here, what happens?
So we want to make sure we invest our time and we don't waste it. I'm really excited for all of Shaffer to be going through some different types of trainings through the online and with face-to-face that we're doing together during company meetings, as well as your accountability teams. These are all going to fit together to help you get more out of your personal life and your professional life. They don't separate, they actually mingle together quite well. And the better you can be in one, the better you can be in another. So next time I see you, you'll be one step closer to getting where you want to go. Thanks.